And it looks like we are live for a Raw. It's Tuesday, August 11th, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Times. And we got a lot to get into today. Besides the social justice warriors trying to burn down the world, we've got a bunch of stories about a bunch of different people. Chicago's burning down. We got crackheads in Fall River, people dying on motorcycles. Trump's pissed off at the NFL, NBA. And Somerset Rats is some fighting along with the selectmen in Somerset, right?
Yes.
Isn't that going on?
Good stuff.
Oh boy, I can't wait to hear it.
But more importantly, we have Turtle Boy on, and we're going to add Turtle Boy in. And there he is. Turtle Boy, how are you?
What's happening?
As I predicted, it seems like you went national a little bit with Breitbart, no?
Breitbart?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, with the Bruins article, correct.
Yeah, that's great.
Good for you.
And a couple other things you were working on. I saw Danny Astle. Do you remember him?
Oh, I have a restraining order against him.
Okay, yeah, I think you filed a similar one in Western Mass today.
I filed something against him?
No, you found one in Western Mass. Another diddler.
I find a lot of diddlers.
His name Sam Hawking.
Oh, that guy. Yeah, the guy from today.
Yeah, Sam. He's
no good.
The poop shit pedo got released from prison last week. Thong Boy. So we just want to give you all your Fall River nostalgia.
Who did?
Thong Boy.
Thong Boy. I forgot about him. What's his real name?
Anktel.
Anktel. Last name is Anktel.
Yeah.
His last name is okay. I have a restraining order against somebody else from Fall River.
How many restraining orders do you have out?
I don't know, like 3 or 4.
Really?
Some of them expire.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like you just get used to it. That and the death threats, right?
It's just a part of life at this point. It's okay.
These two are getting the death threats now because they had a Trump rally last week in front of the Trump store in Somerset. Good old Somerset.
That'll do it.
Yeah.
And you know what, though? The people driving by, it was way overwhelming more support than it was haters, though.
Oh, for sure.
Overwhelming more support.
Yeah.
Everybody driving by was beeping, Trump 2020, thumbs up. You know, it was like overwhelming. Yeah.
I think we can all agree that most of the loudmouths out there, these social justice warriors, are only they're loudmouths, and most of the people are quiet until they go to the polls in November, and hopefully vote these creeps out. I saw you made a list of a bunch of people that are running unopposed in November.
Not me.
Yeah,
I've made a list of vulnerable Democrats. I think kind of like people that if somebody ran against them, they'd have an outside shot at their seat. A lot of these incumbents just never get challenged, but some of the districts are, it's just not feasible. Like it's not going to happen. Like, Ayanna Pressley's not going to lose. I mean, it's nice someone's running against her, but the fact of the matter is some of these people, if you're winning by, 80 to 20% in your district, that's a pretty safe seat. So, you want to target seats that are like, where the incumbent wins with 55%, 53%, whatever. That's a vulnerable seat, a realistic seat that, if you have a good campaign, you get enough publicity out there and you frame it in the right way. And I think the big thing in this election that Republicans can frame is that they support the police. I think that's a lot more popular than people realize.
Yeah. I mean, we got the defend the police flag here.
Especially considering the alternative.
Last time we talked to you was that horrible woman, Michelle Cannon. What's Monica Canyon?
Monica Cannon Grant. Yeah.
Lovely lady. And then, like a week or two later, that blew right over like it was nobody's business. And here she is getting awards from the Bruins or the city of Boston. Somebody.
Well, the Bruins. She posted on her, scam charity page that. What was she saying? She's saying that she was being honored as a social justice hero by the Bruins, but within an hour of me writing that blog, it was taken down. So I think somebody in the Bruins called her and it's like, done with you. See you later. Because the Bruins had a lot of pressure after that other article I wrote about them photoshopping out Charlie Coyle's Boston police logo from his shirt on an Instagram post of all things. And they just looked ridiculous. And I know that, Cam Neely is not a social justice warrior. He's goddamn Seabass. He's not, he's not one of those. So I'm sure this is very embarrassing for him. He doesn't want to be associated with that type of and they do a lot of work with the cops, the Bruins. Of all the 4 sports teams around here, nobody is more interactive with the police than the Bruins. So it's just terrible. It's a great way to destroy a productive relationship.
Yeah, I guess Trump spoke out today against the NBA and the NFL for kneeling, and
Yeah. He's never done that before.
he hopes they fail miserably. Which
Oh,
I
you
don't
think? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think he needs to pray for that.
I have a question going back to the seats that are maybe vulnerable to being taken over by some new blood. Have you ever considered running for office and kind of trying to make change at a different level?
Good question. Well, first of all, I kind of want to run for school committee because like my district just voted to go full remote learning. So I'm all fired up.
So did we in Somerset. We just did the same thing. Yep.
Yeah. It's like, so that fires me up. But I do live in a town where our representative is actually a Republican. So I have no reason to run. She voted against the bill. But I mean, I've thought about it before, but the fact of the matter is I would lose. I mean, I have a big following on social media and stuff like that, but like old people vote. And old people vote Democrat, and they're not going to vote for me if I have an R next to my name.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, do you even have to post that for your local town committees? It's kind of like in Somerset, we don't even show that.
I suppose not, but you got to keep in mind too. Like I've written a lot of blogs that contain words like fupa sloth and fupa hippopotamus, and I feel like those would come back to haunt me.
I will tell you, I ran for school committee in Somerset 2 consecutive years in a row, and I used the word cunt very frequently. And my base grew significantly year by year. So last year, I think I only got 380 votes, but this past year, I got almost 800, I think, or 700. It grew within a year. And I'm not really sure the language dissuades people from trying to put people in that are actually going to stand up to the local bullshit and the dirty politics that goes on. So
I think more now utilize social media as the years go on. The social media base grows bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
So when it was in 2016, it's much bigger now, and it's more popular, and more people are on their phones using social media, and the message gets out a lot faster.
Yeah.
And then we read that there was a teacher that was scared to death to go back because of the COVID, and they found her at a casino. That was one of your latest pieces too.
Yeah, you'll have to be more specific about the teachers that don't want to go back. I know exactly what you're talking about, but it seems like first of all, I do want to point out that I get emails like every day and messages from teachers that are saying that they want to go back, and they comment all the time, and like, these people do not speak for us. And I used to be a teacher. If I was still a teacher, I'd be dying to get back, no pun intended, dying to get back into the classroom because it's like, it's what you do. It's what you signed up to do. Don't you miss it? Don't you miss it? Like, don't you want to get back in there and do your job? And I'm kind of torn on whether or not, like, a lot of people think this has to do with like the election and that they're just doing this to spite Trump or whatever. I think they genuinely believe it. I think there's so much misinformation out there about coronavirus. Every time you turn on the news, it's always like, oh, cases rise. Like I watch the 6:30 news every night on CBS, and immediately, dun dun dun, cases are rising all over. Like you'd think hell was breaking loose in this country right now because of this stupid virus, but it's not, and they think it is, and they're just brainwashed by it.
Yeah.
Well, I think the masses are waking up knowing that the mainstream media is nothing but a big fraud. They say that the mainstream media has a lower approval rating than Congress does, which is like 6% or something like that.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I think I think that a lot of them are just frauds, and they're just politically and self-motivated by personal interests and in political agendas. And I do believe that these people are just a bunch of communists that want to like a hostile takeover. You know, I really do believe that.
So we have a local group around here that's called Who Knew. You're probably not familiar with them. There's probably up your way. Their whole their title, it just says that they're out there to balance the scales of justice against people that don't kiss the Black Lives Matter flag, and they're going to tell their employees, they're going to dox people, cancel culture, all that. And we gave them a lot of attention last week, deservedly. And they seemed to give us a few views, and they copied our show and posted it in their page. And it said that we were helping them grow. I think they went down by about 40 members. But people need to realize that this is just a very small percentage of the population that is that loud, and they have 99% of the population scared to death. Maybe in mass, it's probably more like 70%. But
scared to death of what?
Of saying the wrong thing, having a flag out on display.
They go after your job,
cancel culture, the whole 9 yards.
Yeah, no, I totally. I mean, that was kind of like the premise of my book, is that like if you're afraid to speak your mind, then we're no longer living in a democracy, because the basic fundamental principle of democracy is that people need to be able to exchange ideas, and you have to decide which ones you agree with. If you can't even present the idea, then how can you get people to agree with it and come around to your side? And we can't do this. We're not really living in a democracy if we're in a situation where people cannot openly express their opinions on certain controversial topics. I mean, 2 months ago, I've never seen it as bad as it was in the month of June. I don't know if we'll ever see anything as bad as that again. But I don't know if you saw the story out of Swampscott, and this one really sticks with me. The guy it was a selectman in town. He's eating dinner at some restaurant, and he called Black Lives Matter like liberal communists or something like that, which they are. Yeah. And like, I think liberal assholes is what he called them. The waiter overhears this for some reason, says nothing, then goes home and writes about it on Facebook. Yep. And he initially gets fired, and then public opinion turns on the restaurant, and the restaurant gutlessly hires back the bartender and bans the customer from a freaking restaurant because he's against Black Lives Matter. I mean, we saw Dave Andelman and Phantom Gourmet. They got banned because he's like, it's a lockdown. And it's like, it's just madness, absolute madness. And I don't give a shit. I'm like the guy that can't cancel. So I just keep talking anyway. And they don't
I think the mainstream media makes 20% of public opinion seem like it's 80% of public opinion. And that's why they push so hard at canceling opposing opinions, and they do make the Republicans fearful of saying anything. Yeah. It's sad. It really is sad, because we are living like a totalitarian, like fascist society. I'm
going to listen to people like Ariel Atkins. And when I leave here, I'm hungry, and I'm going to go kick in a Coach store and steal a bunch of pocketbooks and some Nike sneakers and go sell them so I can feed my family tonight.
Yeah.
What's wrong with that? It's justified.
Notice you guys aren't wearing masks. No masks today, huh?
No.
I have one for if I need to run into a store somewhere. But no, we're not.
I refuse to wear them.
Actually, just left the local Merrill manufacturing that's making them, and I wore my mask.
I've been in that building before.
Yes, yeah. We were just talking about you. I was down in Narragansett the other day, and there was people face to face, and the guy tried to spit in the other guy's face. I put it up on Forever Raw. Because he didn't have his mask on properly. So you have a bunch of those people, the secret police. And these guys, he said, I wish I could punch you in the fucking face.
The brown coats.
They were like older people. Yeah. And then he went to spit, but he forgot he still had his mask over, hit the wrong part of his mouth. And then another customer chastised the guy, and then he just drove off in his little Mini Cooper.
Well, the lady that pepper sprayed the couple having a picnic in the park because they weren't wearing masks while they were eating their lunch,
A lot of feedback we were getting from the Trump standout in the back, the blue standout we had, was that we took a group photo at the end and no one was wearing a mask. And we had children, we had elderly people. So it was like a triple trigger. We were in front of the Trump New England merchandise store. We were out there for the backing the blue and Trump, and we didn't have masks. Right. So, I mean, people were, total meltdown mode for sure. Yeah.
Last week, we called the rat snitch line in Rhode Island to ask them what the procedure is, and will the people be, listed in the newspaper? Or they marched into the city center and put a big X on them
from the gallows.
But so we predicted, I guess, because we told the state police there'd be a gathering at what was the address?
I don't know. Like 105 Morris Ave.
Yeah, it was Gina Raimondo's personal address. We called in and said we anticipated a standout or a gathering of over 25 people there.
And sure enough, Saturday night there was a gathering of Black Lives Matters, and not many of them had masks on. But it's
I guess they do have masks on. It's like, who gives a shit? Like, either the gatherings are against the rules or they're not. Like, these magical freaking masks. We put on masks and it's like, oh, we've magically eliminated the spread. Then how weak is your freaking virus if all of it took is a goddamn paper cloth over your mouth to stop it from spreading?
I think the other issue too is I found it to be very selective. We had a bunch of people that were giving a shit about not wearing masks at a Trump standout. And at the same weekend, there was a graduation from the local high school. And there's dozens and dozens of kids together in front of the school in their hats and gowns, not a mask to be seen. Mm-hmm. So I guess my issue is super hypocritical. It's very selective. Outrage, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
So what would Juicy Basil do if he was running the city? Would he be allowed? Would he be a mask Nazi? Do you guys miss him or?
No, he's got a restaurant now, not too far from where he lived. And which is interesting you bring that up, because when people were questioning his age at the time, he was the second youngest in the state. Who was the first youngest? Was it the mayor in Holyoke, wasn't it?
No, Alex Morse, he got elected when he was like 23. I don't know how old Jason.
Yeah,
is.
23.
So, yeah, he would have been,
So it's
yeah.
the same thing. And what happened to Alex Morse? I guess he got
He's
caught.
been having some fun at UMass Amherst. He's been having a good time up there.
I miss Jazel for sure. I miss the vibe.
Jazel fans.
Yeah, definitely.
We like Jazel.
Yeah.
You know.
He wasn't like a social justice warrior. He was just the most corrupt politician in the history
Yeah.
of politics.
Yeah.
He was like a
just the
funny
one that got
Cianci.
caught.
Yeah.
They're all like that. Where do you
Yeah.
think he learned it from? You know what I mean? Come on, they're all like
Yeah, no, he was popular with the people. It's just I don't know if he got set up. We're still trying to figure that out.
He's a
There's gonna be
shitty motherfucker. Let's be honest. Come
There's
on.
going to be a trial next year, so
Yeah,
we'll
he's
see.
going to jail.
Yeah,
Oh.
I mean, usually that's how it turns out, right?
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, the federal
Actually, no,
government's
it's
not
usually
fucking
how
around.
it is.
They're not wasting the time on this.
No. So we've been looking for your podcast in the morning with Callahan. Is that switched off to another
Well,
venue?
yeah, they've it's the podcast is still on Apple and iTunes or whatever. It didn't stream Monday because of the new whatever. He's not using StreamYard. He's messing around with the new thing, and I guess it doesn't have a live aspect to it. So I don't know. He said the quality's better for sound. I just show up and do the job. I like it more when it's live because I like interactions. I like seeing the turtle emojis. I see a lot of them in the comments right now.
Yeah.
I like interacting with the people, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, with Everett. He's one of my favorites. He hates you so much that he just can't leave you alone.
See, I
I
like
can't fix that caps lock. That caps lock is just broken forever with him.
Yeah, it's crazy.
all media should be like Turtle Boy. That's the way the mainstream media should be.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because you call out the people that deserve it. I've always been a huge fan. Yeah, I hope you stay up. Yeah, for sure.
Well,
I
yeah.
know you've been censored a lot, but it seems like you can find you pretty easy though.
Well, it seems like he's
Yeah.
well on the way up, rising up.
Mhm.
Your book just came in. I'm gonna start reading it soon. Just
I
came in.
hope you like it, man.
Oh, yeah.
Hope you like it.
I'm sure that Breitbart article is going to be real good for you too. There'll be a lot of people checking you out because of that.
I'm sure I'll love it though, the book.
Oh, because of what article?
Breitbart.
Oh, the Brian. Oh, yeah, that was good. That was
Yeah,
nice.
they got like 5 million followers on Facebook alone. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, they were banned from Twitter for like 4 or 5 days there because they shared the hydroxychloroquine video. They shared some video they weren't supposed to, and they got banned for like 4 or 5 days. So when that article came out, it didn't get a lot of traffic at first because they couldn't share it on Twitter, and then they got let back on, and then all of a sudden traffic picked up. It's one of those things.
good.
Nice.
So what was the big deal with that I keep calling it chloroform.
Hydroxychloroquine.
From my old dating days.
No, stop.
But no, what is that? I think it's a real thing, and I think that we're being tricked. But
I mean, didn't Trump take it himself?
Yes. A lot of politicians are, and a lot of doctors have said that they've had a good success with it when it's used with zinc and the right other chemicals, and
is that
as
from
long as
Mike?
that it's not too far advanced. Like
Yeah.
they
But
have,
what does it do? Does it fit? Like Trump didn't have COVID, so why did he take it?
because I guess they're taking it as a precautionary measure because it's good to treat like inflammation. I guess
I have a
That's what they're getting in their
prescription for
lungs.
that. I have
Mhm.
lupus and I have a prescription for
Yeah,
it. I got it last
from,
year. I've been holding on to it. If I have to
Malaria,
sell it,
SARS, it works for you. Even Dr. Fauci himself said back in 2005 that hydroxychloroquine was a miracle drug for coronavirus strands. And because coronavirus is nothing new, there's
Right.
a lot of different strands. Just COVID, it just seems like it's so much like different now because I think it's mostly political. But they're just using it to get Trump out. I do believe that they will push it that far. But even Dr. Fauci himself said that that it's a miracle cure for coronaviruses. Yep. And that was back in 2005.
He said a lot of things over the years that
Seems
he
like
said a month later.
Yeah, it's always a big flip flop.
When are we going to hear from this Ghislaine Maxwell?
Oh, Jizzy. Whenever she wants to make a deal with the government, I suppose is when all the dirt's going to come out, right?
He's gonna cooperate.
I'd
I'm
say
pretty
that's-
sure, right?
that should-
Yeah,
Oh, of course she is.
yeah.
She doesn't want to go to jail for a long time. She doesn't want to die there. She'll give up anybody.
Yeah.
Hey,
Why
did you see what Prince Andrew said? Did you watch the Epstein documentary on
I
Netflix?
haven't had a chance to yet.
So there's a part where Prince Andrew, he's in like a 60 Minutes-esque type of interview setup, and they're holding up a picture of him with that girl, Jeffrey,
yeah.
or whatever her name is, and then Gillian, and then they're like, were you there with them? He's like, no, I wasn't there. Then they're like, well, how do you explain this photo? He's like, I don't know. I don't remember. Just looking like a complete idiot. Like, I can't wait until all this comes out and it all gets exposed. I really can't.
Well,
I think
what can they even do to him? He's a prince. You're gonna put him in the Tower of London.
It's
Yeah.
coming now.
Well, if they kick the can down the road long enough, they'll have like a social worker come over and explain to him why it's not right to have sex with kids.
Yeah, right.
And that won't be a big
He'll
problem.
go to
anymore.
rehab and it'll be all over with. Yeah, he's cured now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? The main thing is the collective consciousness of the masses, and the more people that wake up and that talk about this, the more dangerous it is to them, and the more that it has to like come out. And that's the dangerous thing is the public knowledge. And I think that a lot of people are starting to wake up. You know.
Even if the things you were saying weren't true, even if like, like this stuff was actually, doesn't help you or whatever. Since when do people still have not a right to say that though? Like, why do we not have a right to lie? Like people have a right to lie. People have a right to spread misinformation. I hate to say it because it happens all the time. I mean, politicians on both sides literally spread misinformation all the time. The media does it all the time. Since when is that not okay?
Well, that's probably why they were in front of the House last week, Congress, getting questioned, but they didn't seem to be answering many questions.
Well, didn't they? Operation Mockingbird kind of made it like legal for them to like deliberately put out propaganda to the masses, right? And I mean, and then there was something. Didn't Obama sign into law that would even double down on the media being able to lie without consequence?
Yeah. I mean, I just remember as, 9/11 came along, everyone was united together. We were all one country, one fight, one military. And then this big racist country elected Obama twice. And we seem like we dropped back 50 years. But
for sure.
I don't know. I hope November turns out the right way and we all come out of this.
I have a bad feeling about November. I don't know about you guys. I'm not very optimistic about November right now.
What do you think can happen?
I think Joe Biden's going to win, and I think that the Democrats are going to take the Senate. That's what I think, as of right now, unless something drastically changes. I mean, it's not fair.
Yeah,
I mean, the number one issue is coronavirus, and bottom. I don't blame Trump for it, but the bottom line is a lot of people do, and they vote, and that matters. So it's unfortunate.
Yeah. I mean, my feelings about it is it's like the Celtics winning the championship. To me, I could care less because they don't control my life. But there's a lot of people that are getting used. There's a lot of, unfortunately, black people that are getting used by white people for the cause Black Lives Matter, and they don't even know it.
Weaponization.
Yeah, they're being fooled into playing themselves.
Yes, they are. And what 19.8 million out of the 20 million they raised went to like Joe Biden's campaign, didn't it?
Right to the DNC. Yeah.
Right.
Someone said in the comments that I don't know if this is true or not. Someone said in the comments that Kamala Harris is the official VP pick for Biden.
I thought it was going to be Susan Rice.
Wow.
I was told that she was out of it. I was told she was a convention speaker, so she can't be the VP.
Let's see.
She was
I
advised
was told Susan
not
Rice was gonna
to
be
by, and it was an interesting read. This guy Brown, he's like 86, and he dated her when he was 60. She was 30.
Oh, Willie Brown. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
On the ladder.
Sugar daddy, and he got her the right jobs and the right places. So I mean, I bet Camellia could spit quite a distance back in the day.
It is Kamala.
Kamala, Camellia.
It is her.
It is Kamala Harris.
She's the VP choice.
10 minutes
yes,
ago.
10 minutes ago.
Okay, I feel better now.
To lose too.
I feel better now.
No kidding.
Yikes.
Now it's
She's
just gonna be,
late. She is not.
now it's like you got 4 more years to make fun of these people if they live that long.
Well, I do feel better about this now. I was worried that he would pick like somebody with a lower profile that nobody had ever heard of before. That was my worst nightmare. Is like someone like this senator from Nevada, Masto, or like one of these Hispanic senators, something like that. I think that would be bad news. It's good if you pick someone like Kamala because she's so unlikable. Like my girl Tulsi destroyed her.
Yeah,
destroyed her around this time, and it's gonna happen. Like that's because no vice presidential pick in history has mattered more than Biden's because chances are of him living to the second of his term are slim to none. So, or even knowing what he's doing. So they'll be controlling the country, and she's a very unlikable person outside of like California and New York. So I have a feeling that that's not going to help him.
I mean, if Biden was smart, he'd call me up on a Tuesday night about 10:30 and ask me advice on running the country.
She would not only be the first female, she's also the first Black, and she's also the first Asian American vice president if elected. I did not know she was Asian American.
She like a Muslim?
She's Asian American. Come on.
That's what NBC is reporting.
Well, I don't believe it. I think she's like Middle Eastern, and she's not even Black. She's like
she's half Jamaican, right? It's like
Jamaican,
right?
yeah,
white, half white, right?
Yeah,
oh,
and white. Wild. That's right.
She's married to a white guy too. So if she has kids, they're a quarter Black.
Right.
You know, so I mean, not that really matters that much, but
sure,
she can at least rob a Macy's or a Nike outlet. But at least it wasn't Lizzie Warren, our own backyard.
Well, that's true.
Oh,
that was 1024.
blessings on blessings.
Right.
Unbelievable. Well, Turtle Boy, it was awesome having you on.
Yes, it was nice to meet
Yeah, it
you.
was awesome.
Absolutely.
Nice to talk to you guys too.
You couldn't
For having me. Appreciate it.
You go live tonight, right? 9?
I'll be live tonight at 9 on the Turtle Boy YouTube channel. Correct.
Turtle Boy
Awesome.
YouTube. Go subscribe.
Sure. Yeah.
All right, my friend. You have a good one. And
Talk to you soon.
Thank
have a good
you.
one.
Bye.
Yep. Turtle Boy. So yeah, that's interesting breaking news that this Kamala Harris.
Wow.
I'm gonna have to learn how to say her
Okay,
name.
the
Kamala.
worst possible.
Kamala.
Camellia, though. That's a good one, though.
My
Camellia, I
eye
like
is
that.
like
Yeah.
twitching. I'm not kidding.
At
Kamala
least,
Harris.
Yeah.
at least it
Well, it's
wasn't.
good for us.
At least it wasn't. Our senator there, Warren, Dizzy Lizzy.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
well, he was definitely gonna pick a woman of color.
Is she banging him like she banged the other 86-year-old?
Oh my goodness, I hope not.
Maybe she slept her way into the White House.
Yeah, maybe she did.
She's 55, from Oaktown, so she's repping.
She's just a fraud. Like, especially when she talked about how she used to smoke weed while listening to some rapper that, like, and then it turned out like that what would she say, Tupac? But while she was in college, he wasn't even like a thing yet or something. Like, she totally lied about it. You know what I mean? And she was like locking up people over marijuana, like, and she was bragging about smoking marijuana on.
But as of
on the radio.
yesterday,
she took a lot of heat over that too.
Yeah.
that guy Brown, and which he might have some skeletons in his closet because he was telling her to save herself for the AG job or not to become vice president. And I don't know if that was for the betterment in their eyes of the Democratic Party, or he doesn't want any skeletons coming out about him and her smoking crack back in the day. Marion Berry. Not to be racist or to stereotype.
He was married when she was banging him too.
Yeah, you know,
and he used to like flaunt her right in front of his wife and everything. It was terrible.
Dude, it's been 9 minutes and they already updated Wikipedia.
Oh, really?
Yes, and
Oh
saying
my
that she's
God.
already vice
crazy.
president.
Well,
yeah,
So
that is crazy.
So they must have a report that Jazane Maxwell is going to
it's Ghislaine.
whatever the fucking
Maxwell.
scumbag's name is, that she is going to leak the names today, and it's all, and then they're going to come out with the COVID cure, and nobody's going to know anything about anything.
The stuff that's
One
gonna,
complete
yeah.
custom
the
fuck.
stuff coming from Ghislaine Maxwell is what we need in 2020. It has been a shitty fucking year, and we are going to need that stuff to get us through the winter. It's going to be bleak. Schools are shut down. We need the dirt. We need the tea. We need to know the people.
Yes.
Like, we need it.
But those, she's really gonna out the powerful people, like they're saying, like they've been saying this for so long now, and I'm at the point where I'll believe it when I see it. Drop the names already. I don't care if they're Republican, Democrat, whoever they are. If they're such like high powerful people, then I want to know the names. Drop the names already. Enough with the.
I want the video.
suspense.
There's got to be video. They were
The
smart
kids getting
enough.
fucked
Yeah.
and shit.
100%.
Yeah, I don't really want to watch that, but what I will say is I did, since we brought up the subject of pedophilia and scumbags, and it was the school that Turtle Boy taught at, was where the band camp incident happened, and you say that's heating up. You heard?
Yeah. So back in February, so the show choir in Somerset, they do these shows all over the state. And I guess during one of these show choir out in, where were we? Danvers? Where was the
Middle Mass?
Wherever this was, a mother said that her daughter said that the director, the teacher, stayed in the room while the girls changed in between sets. So how they usually, when you go to these places, they have a room for each school that's competing. And sometimes they have two rooms, one for the boys and one for the girls. In this instance, they had three, one for the boys, one for the girls, and kind of like a common area for this school. And this teacher chose to set up his laptop, his bag in the room where the girls were. And they had to change in between, some with no tops on. I guess one of the girls.
Allow that?
Well, his exact words, because there was a thread going on Facebook in the early hours of this incident coming out. He said, "This is the culture of the show choir. This is the culture. It has always been this way. There was nothing negative about it. It's just how it always was." I'm sorry, but was it always that girls had to turn and face the wall?
Yeah.
To change and take their shirts off
Turn
because you got a
around,
guy there
like
with a
casting
computer.
couch.
It was in Shepherd Hill, Dudley, Mass.
Yeah.
So I mean, to me, now and then we got the whole COVID thing. So they said we couldn't take a lot of action because COVID obviously started about a month later. So now we're in August, and there's still no information other than that this teacher has been on a paid leave this whole time. So my question is, school's starting up in a couple of weeks. Is this guy coming back?
Is he going to be looking at the naked poon from a remote location?
How can you trust? Like,
no,
you
he's
need,
got enough files on his laptop.
Oh, which I heard they confiscated. You
All
know
right,
what I mean? It
let's
was
take a
just taking
call.
the time.
Forever Raw, you're live.
Donald
We do care.
Just trying to make sure everyone's treated equal. Is that so bad?
All right, so now we're getting the callers from Who
The
Knew.
Who Knew
That's the Who
callers.
Knew network that
Oh, it must be.
wanted the
Hi,
shout
everybody
out.
from there who's
last week.
watching.
Yeah.
What's happening? Who
You guys
knew?
dox
All your
us.
names.
You want
All your
our
names.
addresses? We'll post our addresses so you can come. I think one of them, the kid Matt that runs the page, said he was going to come get some FaceTime with me.
Oh yeah,
Um,
they should let me into the group so I can take them all on. Just me,
So
up to 500
yeah,
of them.
I mean,
I'll take them on all myself.
Yeah, you have enough stamina, Sarah.
yeah, let's do it. I got a few rounds left in me. So yeah, locally, unfortunately, a young man died last night in a motorcycle.
My buddy Eric Liebel, they called him the witch doctor.
Can you talk about that? Because I only saw a little bit about this. How did this happen? So
Yeah,
this
I
is
don't
in
know
Fall
what's
River?
going
Yeah,
on.
it happened right there on like Middle Street where South Main Street is.
Okay.
I guess somebody ran a red light or a stop sign and crashed into him. He's on his motorcycle. Some car ran a stop sign / red light. I don't know the
and ran
exact
over him,
details.
kinda.
And like and knocked him. Yeah, and it was bad enough where
Well, where was this?
it's like on Middle
and
Street,
South
is.
Main.
So that's a red light.
Yes.
It's an
Yeah.
intersection, yeah.
Okay.
Right in front of St. Anne's Hospital.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
a
so it
that's a
happened
red
right
light.
And
Same.
his,
Wow.
his name was
Eric Liebel.
yeah, but his company
Witch Doctor
Witch Doctor
Studios,
Sarah.
I'm branded by
she's
him.
got the
I
brand.
got Witch
Oh, he's a
Doctor.
tattoo
It's
artist?
just- yeah,
Yeah.
and same right here.
We'll take her word for it. We don't want to say that she's showing it around.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it
Yeah.
says Witch
It
Doctor.
says
Witch Doctor. So
Oh, Sarah, I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah, we was real
Rest
close
in
when
peace.
Yeah.
we was real close when he was younger. You know, yeah, he was a real good friend of mine. So I'm very sad to hear this. I guess they kept him on life support at Rhode Island Hospital for a little while, and then once they had to pull the plug on him, then they announced it on Facebook and stuff like that. But yeah,
yeah.
Do
I'm
they?
very sad. You know, my thoughts and sympathies go out to Heidi and the rest of the family and everything, of course. But
Terrible.
yeah, it is terrible.
Do they know who the driver was?
We don't know anything about that.
I think
yet.
they
None of
took
that
someone into
information-
custody. The person stayed at the
Yeah.
scene.
Okay.
That's
Oh,
for sure. I don't know if they
Yeah.
were charged, or whatever. But also, we with Fall River Police, Fall River Police were accused of being police brutality against this guy Drew Carroll. The problem is, we know Drew Carroll, and I think
Speak for yourself.
a couple of us
I don't
do.
Yeah.
I don't know
And,
who he is.
No.
Let's just say he might have been in the hotel room with Marion Barry,
Oh, geez.
smoking a Crizax. And
Might have been.
one day he had walked by one of our friends and dropped a cigarette pack, and it had a little rubber stopper with a brass pipe in it.
Yep.
So he looks like he's been in. And if anyone, any of the viewers don't know where 245 4th Street is, it's about as shady as it gets. If they're not pedophiles, drug dealers, they're homeless people that are squatting in a house.
So they call
So
that Corky Row, right?
that is part of the Corky Row section. Corky Row is a little more up. St. Patrick's Day, there's that's where they do the.
I've never been in the Corky Roll
No,
Club.
you
Not
never
one
get the
time.
corned beef and
No,
cabbage. and
never.
things, and,
I was told never to go in that neighborhood. I don't.
I used to hang around.
Well,
when
I
I
just
was
go
younger.
there. I don't know.
Coincidentally, I used to go there to get my cocaine there years ago.
Wasn't there another? Wasn't Against All Odds over there?
No,
Remember- where's
that's up
that?
on Cash Street. No,
That's another
no,
real
you might be
shady
right.
place,
Yeah.
right? Against All Odds.
you might be right. It's a side street that goes by 2, 3, and 4.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't play in the rocks in Newport, and I always go out to Newport to the Ocean Cliff, and there's people always casting. There's people playing on the rocks. The ocean is very aggressive. It's almost like Sean Zen when he's in a bad mood.
Yes.
And the ocean decided to dissolve him. And I've said it so many times to my wife when we sit there. You just watch a rogue wave come 6 foot higher than the rest, and it just makes a mess of everything.
Are you saying you saw a wave come and take a guy off the rocks?
No, I didn't.
Oh.
I saw it, but that happened yesterday.
Oh, wow.
Did he
or
pass
Sunday.
away?
Yes. Yeah.
No.
Yeah. I mean, a 6 foot wave, that's over 1,000 pounds.
Nightmare fuel.
And
That's got to be fucking crazy. Getting hit with one of those.
Yeah.
So just the impact alone, never mind where it's bringing you.
Probably
And
knocks you right out. You know,
Yeah,
it's probably
would-
instant.
it will take you, and you're nothing. The ocean is a serious beast.
yeah, whole other world.
Another weather phenomenon was a derecho. I learned what that was today. Did anyone else want to guess what that is?
Jericho.
Derecho. It's a group of high winds that traveled 700 miles in 14 hours and made a swath across the United States last night. So it's not a
in the
tornado.
Midwest, in the
Just-
upper Midwest, there's like 1 million people without power.
Straight
Yeah, I heard
line
about
winds
that.
took out farm equipment,
wow, yeah,
silos, maybe a Nike store and Black Lives Matter.
Well, how do you
flamed
say
it on-
Nike? Do you mean Nike?
Nike.
But you say Nike. What do you mean?
Listen,
Nike?
I'm a math person. I'm not. My English isn't that good.
It's Nike.
I grew up in Fall River. I'm lucky I can even talk.
It's like the biggest brand in the world, isn't it?
Do I look like I wear fucking athletic shoes?
How the fuck do you not know it's called Nike?
Is there a
Nike.
Nike XXXXXL
I say
shirt
mispronounce
that
them
I
on purpose.
Nike.
Nike.
It's sort of
I'm
me.
gonna stop calling them Nike now.
Listen, that's fine, but I had to intervene because I felt like he just wasn't
Okay.
saying
I'll
it
never
right.
buy
I don't
how
know.
do they say
Nike
in
shoes ever
China
again.
when they're getting 20 cents an hour working 16-hour days?
I'm not disagreeing with
So
you.
Colin,
but it's-
Colin, did I say that right? Colin Kaepernick can get his $20 million a year.
Stop
or
talking
whatever.
about him and giving him any relevancy whatsoever, please.
Yeah, no, we definitely don't want to do
But
that.
still, you talk about oppression as you just take the $20 million from a company like that literally makes their money off slave labor.
Slave
like,
work,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
It's just it's like the hypocrisy with these people it's just so insulting.
I know. I mean, Chinese lives matter too.
Absolutely.
What else do we have?
Did anybody?
Bunch of earthquakes off Rhode Island. I mean, California, but we don't really care about California.
Did you see the new Cardi B song and
Oh
video?
God.
No.
No.
All right, listen.
I boycott
Just
on
hear me
purpose.
out on this.
Does she look like a chocolate factory
Go
exploded?
home and watch this video. It's called WAP.
WAP.
Wow.
WAP.
Isn't that like a racist statement?
WOP.
So
Oh,
we,
WOP.
it's so funny we talked about that. Yes, my husband thought it was too. WOP.
All right, good.
What they call the Italians, right?
Yeah, WAPs.
Right. Well, first he was like, "Isn't that what they call Polish people?" And I was like, "No, no. Actually, it stands for wet ass pussy."
Oh my
Oh,
God.
I
And
haven't seen one of those in about
there's a
30
lot
years.
of,
my
but
God.
listen, there's a lot of
Actually, 18.
controversy.
It's 18.
There's a lot of controversy, even from the Black community, about this song, and I'm curious about what people think about it because essentially what she's saying is that the pussy runs everything. She gets everything because of it. There's literally a statement in it where she
How
says,
feminist.
I don't cook, I don't clean, but let me tell you how I got this ring. And it's like, is this really what women are out there doing? They're basically just fucking to get
But
everything.
don't
Hold on.
objectify. Don't objectify.
But
me.
don't objectify me.
Who did
Right?
Who did the song with Cardi B? Was it Meg The Stallion?
Yes.
Or was it Doja Cat?
Yes.
Meg The Stallion. So Meg
Yep.
The Stallion is like a big hot girl summer
Shooting victim?
fucking well, yeah, Tory Lanez shot her in the foot and
In
like
the
a bunch
foot,
of
right.
times and
I
nobody's
hate that
talking
I'm
about
44
that.
years old and I even know all of this,
I have
but
no
yes.
idea
But
what you're
no,
talking
I mean,
about.
Meg The Stallion, she got bigger. I noticed her when she made a song called "Hot Girl Summer," which
Yeah.
is pretty much saying, "Hey, girls, go out, fuck a bunch of people,
Yes.
and like no,
All about the empowerment.
tie downs, nothing.
Yes.
Let's just have fun."
That's
Which
a
I mean,
good message,
if you want to have fun, whatever, fucking
Right.
have fun. Who gives a fuck?
Right.
So
But yeah, that was her brand. And then fast forward to now, she was secretly dating this guy, Tory Lanez, who's another successful rapper, singer from Toronto, like the Mississauga, however you say it. And they were driving home from a party at Kylie Jenner's house or with Kylie Jenner. And I guess Kylie Jenner and Tory Lanez were really like showing each other a lot of affection. Meg The Stallion didn't really like that too much. No Jumper talked about this, Adam 22. And on the way home, they had a big fucking argument. Megan's friend was in the back seat, and Tory Lanez supposedly pulled out a gun, shot her 2 or 3 times in the leg and foot.
Yep.
And then you have the aerial footage of the arrest. Tory Lanez got arrested for having a illegal
Weapon.
gun possession,
Right.
pretty much. And then Meg The Stallion's shot 3
Yeah.
times. And people, they're not directly saying, oh, Tory shot Megan, but it's like, okay, so there's 3 people in the car. One had a gun, another one got shot.
Yeah.
It's common fucking
That sounds
sense.
like Chris
So, yeah.
Brown, Rihanna all
But I
over
mean,
again.
kidding.
apparently, she didn't get shot in the vagina or anything. She's healing up pretty
Well,
well,
I'm
utilizing that shit for
I'm just,
monetary
from
gains.
some of our
she's nasty.
people that are
you know.
watching, maybe from our Who Knew group, I'm wondering what their thoughts are on this song and what.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's more than just like
She has
a
the right to make a living.
listen. True. I mean, she's a fucking stripper before she made it big.
Right.
That's fine.
Yes.
Got a bag and fixed her teeth. But like, I'm just wondering, like, is this really? You know what I mean? How can you
I just
be?
think that they morally grandstand and then then they defend this kind of grotesque like message and behavior and
I just
know.
kind of find like, is that really how the Black community wants their women to get ahead?
Yes, well, that's how they're portrayed in all rap songs. That
But then how
so-
can they be
Mhm.
feminists?
They can't be.
Well,
It's so
they-
I
contradictory.
think it speaks higher than race too. I think it's just speaking
because
of
it's
women in
only
general.
bad
They
when
like the show. Look at
conservative men-
OnlyFans. Look
I
at all the shit
follow-
like OnlyFans and fucking
Right.
like it started off as like private Snapchats. fake Instagram accounts. And now they're like, all right, you know what? Fuck it. I'm
only.
not sending nudes for free anymore.
Yeah.
I'm going to start making some money off of this shit. Cardi B, let's get it going. And then fucking boom.
Let's get to some calls. Patrick called RBT. He's been dying to run his mouth. RBT. I'm not going to put him on here forever all your life.
I think I'm moving out of this bloody country. All these blacks everywhere. Jesus Christ.
Whoa.
Might as well make RBT mad.
No,
I'm out of here.
that sounds like a good idea. Make RBT the mayor of Fall River.
Oh, God.
He will clear things up.
Yeah, mayor of a tent city,
But
maybe.
It just kills me because as soon as a conservative guy even projects some microaggression, they talk about, oh, how bad that's, you know what I mean?
What
like,
the
oh,
fuck is a
objectify.
microaggression?
Oh, if he sits with his legs spread, or if he checks out a girl's ass or something as she walks by,
Shut the
that's
fuck
like
up.
the worst thing ever. But they can do this in
Microaggression.
mainstream.
did we want to
Like,
talk
it's-
about this at all?
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I definitely do.
That's not Erica Scott yet.
I don't
Oh
care
yes.
if somebody decides to loot a Gucci or a Macy's or a Nike because that makes sure that that person eats. That makes sure that that person has clothes.
Black Lives Matter Chicago rallied.
So
Who is that?
That is she played for the University of Texas for 4 years.
Ellie
She's
something, right?
34 years old, 24 years old, 96. I don't know. My math's so foggy these days. 90. She's 24.
Yeah.
She played for the Washington Mystics, and she's from Texas. And here she is in Chicago, grandstanding for whoever had
Looting.
called her up and flew her in first class because now she's playing in Australia because of the COVID.
Sounds very privileged.
But who can put that thought process together that it's justifiable to go rob a store? That's like saying, you know, you got to rob. And then at the end, I cut it off because I didn't even want to hear it. She calls it reparations.
I can't.
But then the left is also saying how crying Kennedy, who's out to help all the homeless. Don't worry, RBT, he's on his way to help you.
Yeah, he's going to Somerset
We
now.
shouldn't hold him responsible for his forefathers, his drunk uncle, his philandering grandfather.
Oh, right.
Right.
So
So
we all got to be held responsible
Yeah,
for
that's-
slavery from 200 years ago.
yeah,
Gotcha,
so
gotcha,
it doesn't.
gotcha.
It's not a two-way street. Fall River Roy, you live.
How's it going? I knew you were going to talk about what went on in Chicago
Yeah.
the night when they basically trashed the Magnificent Mile.
Yep.
That all started with a shootout between a 20-year-old kid who's still alive, by the way, and the cops. He first fired the shots at the cops. And what happened was it trickled down to the Black Lives Matter bullshitters, and that's when they organized that riot to destroy all those stores on Madison Ave.
Wow.
So, but that's how this works. Everything you see is all organized. This is not some kid deciding to drive a car through a Tesla dealership. It's all planned.
Right.
It's all been planned.
Of course.
You know, and it's hilarious because I tell you, they've actually lost more fans because of what they've been doing the last 3 months than what, you know, like I said, they're losing people. You don't see it, but they're losing people. They're losing, really supporters of that movement.
Is
That
this like
movement's a joke.
Newberry Street in Boston, like an analogy? Is it like
Yeah, pretty much. There are far more stores on Madison Ave in Chicago. I've been there. So it's all organized. Everything, all these protests you see, they're all organized.
Mm-hmm.
And the organizers are generally not from the area.
Yeah.
Right? And if you want to go back, the funding ends up always leading to Soros. He's the one that funds.
Yeah,
all
they
these
flew in
little-
the basketball star from Texas who played for Washington. No ties to Chicago.
Not quite related, but I was speaking with someone that was at the Trump standout, and he said that he's part of a local union, and they told him and his, fellow guys that they had to go and hold signs for Kennedy a couple of weeks ago, and another candidate, and if they don't, they charge them an extra $250 in dues. They have to show up to
that can't
two
be illegal.
stand-up. They
How
have
can that be legal?
this is his exact
Union
words.
activities.
He has to go to two union events where they tell them they need to go. They make sure they're there. They check in, and the guy's a Republican, so he's said he's got a hat on and his sunglasses. He said because he doesn't want to pay the $250 more in dues to his union.
Yeah, I'd pay the money.
I mean,
Yeah, well, all unions are like that. The teachers unions like that.
Oh,
Yeah.
The teachers unions
the worst.
are threatening people to basically not speak out about wanting to basically teach this year.
yeah, exactly.
You know, all the teachers unions are all in lockstep with the same demands.
Yeah.
You don't hear it from the people around here, but they're all in the same.
Oh no, I know. Yep.
As they accuse the private sector.
MTA is the biggest mafia in this state.
Absolutely. Yes.
Well, like Turtle
I
Boy
agree with
said,
that.
that's just examples that he comes up with. Most people, most teachers, they just want to get back to the classroom. And that's what I hear from most people, because I will say, like, a lot of people are saying they're afraid of COVID. And then they weren't afraid of it all of a sudden, but now Trump put back more unemployment, so now they're afraid of it again.
Mm-hmm.
And when I say that, it's tongue in cheek. It's not everybody. I know that some of you really want to go back to work. But
at this point you can't. If you're
Right.
a parent and you have school age children and you have remote learning to start the year, what am I supposed to do with my children? Leave them with a 75-year-old, 80-year-old Vavo
Right.
who is not going to help facilitate an online learning program. They are literally making it so that you have no choice but to be dependent on the unemployment, to stifle the economy and destroy everything that this man has built for 4 years.
this is a well-planned terroristic attack from the inside of the United States.
I always say that the Democratic
Oh, yeah.
Party should be
Yeah,
labeled a
and-
domestic terrorist organization at this point.
And
Absolutely.
let's get one thing straight. Joe Biden didn't pick Kamala Harris.
No.
That was Obama who picked Harris. Obama and the DNC picked Harris. They couldn't take Karen Bass because she's a communist. She has ties to the Castro regime. They couldn't take Susan Rice because she's a criminal. So they choose the one woman who basically, and she's more controversial than the other two. This is a woman when she was the district attorney, I think, in Alameda County in California, threw black people in jail for smoking weed.
Yes.
This is the same woman who threw parents in jail because their kids were truant. The law enforcement community in California does not like Kamala Harris.
Right.
Plain and simple. She's also a known liar. She lied about when she went to school. She lied about when she was listening to this and that. And she called Joe Biden a racist. And so now they're going to choose her? Because the reality is, the day after, if he somehow wins and the day after Inauguration Day he gets inaugurated, the 25th Amendment comes up and she's the president.
Absolutely.
But she's not the one pushing the buttons.
Right.
It's Barack Obama that's pushing the buttons.
Right.
So we're going to be able to see some video of her calling Biden a racist, right?
Well, maybe that means that Susan Rice is going to go down. Maybe when the hammer drops, maybe she is going to go down, because I thought she would be a way better pick than Kamala Harris for vice president. But maybe Barry's right. Maybe she is going to go down and she's a criminal and she's going to be up for prosecution. That could be very well true. Maybe that will give me a little hope, because I've been growing really.
Is Willie Brown still alive?
Yes.
The guy that
Yes, I think
so
so.
like, when are the interviews with him going to start?
Yeah, right.
Like, let's go. Let's talk.
He was already advising her not to take the vice president. If she was selected, he was telling her to stay with the attorney general or something. But good point. Thanks for the call.
Yeah, thanks, Barry. Always a pleasure.
Barry, always on point. And it's scary, true, because it makes me think that I don't talk about politics a lot. I just do my
Me
thing.
neither.
I like to get drunk, stoned, run through a couple of walls, but I don't see why these people are so entrenched in that this is their life, and they take these the public service jobs. I think a senator makes what, 150 grand a year.
I have no idea.
I think it's like more like a 175.
175.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that's their base. Plus, they have all of those other things
Which
that they
is
do, like
not a
the
whole lot.
That's why
subcommittees.
most of them
And,
were at millions.
Yeah.
Tens of millions.
Yeah, but how they end up worth billions and millions of dollars. Okay, here we go. The star of the day. We thought it was going to be Turtle Boy, but no. Fall River Roy, you are live.
What did you want to set straight, sir?
Well, you blocked my friend Sean Zen. You're mocking people that are trying to help you out of your situation. I need an explanation. What's going on?
You tell me.
Well, you say we lie about you, so
Narcissism?
what are we lying about? Let's set it straight. You're on the air. Here's your platform.
Yeah, you were going to make us look foolish.
I'm not going to. I have so much moved on from all this stuff.
This was this morning.
Oh, come on. No.
Where the fuck did you go?
No
Did you get your unemployment
filibustering.
check today? Huh?
Excuse me?
I said, what changed between
Excuse me?
yesterday and today?
let's go. What's your fucking
Nothing.
problem with me, guy? Let's go. What's your problem?
Spit it out.
Here we go.
Let's
Once
go.
again, everyone wants to say I have a problem with them.
That's how you're acting.
That's how you posted it on Facebook.
When everyone wants to say I have the problem with them, when honestly, I could give two rats ass as long as my name ain't mentioned.
Okay.
I don't
Oh.
care.
All right.
All right. So
I'm over here
RBT,
trying to do what I need to do to get my situation better.
now spell that for
Now,
me.
Since we're going to
SISUA.
talk about this. What's that?
It's situation. It's SIT. And this is me. I'm not that good at English. It's SITUATION.
TION.
Listen, I wish you the best, RBT. Really, I do.
We want to sponsor your race car.
Let me just reference, hey, Jeff Leary, tell Jess Machado to go bang her ankles.
Yeah. All right. That's enough for RBT. 508-617, call us. You can call back. I know he's usually a good caller.
I think his problem is more with drugs than it is anything else.
Wait, really?
Yeah, I don't know if it wore off.
Unless he's a schizo.
No. He's not.
Let's see what Higgins' take is, because he called us a little bit ago. I don't know if he's still available. Kelly Conway said Democrat mayors are losing it because they know Trump's going to get in for 4 more years. Mm-hmm. Patrick, you with us?
Yeah, but I'm not all there.
You're not all there. No, imagine that. What's happening?
Not much. I'm thinking about moving out of state and getting married.
Oh, well, isn't that interesting?
Whoa.
To a 46-year-old.
Oh, wow.
You go.
Where'd you meet her? Online?
I've known her for 20
Is her name Titi?
Where is Titi?
He's a little fair-skinned.
I don't know where Titi is.
She's MIA.
She's advertised she would be here today.
I would have picked her up.
Yeah.
We got some good feedback.
He's smoking some bad weed, I guess, huh?
I think it's more than weed.
What I think happened was, I guess in Somerset, the surge went backwards and came out, and I think he was squatting. He was near one of those big pipes, and just his life was so bad, and he was pondering suicide, and then just got a shitstorm thrown at him. And now we're not as big of a problem as we were 4 hours ago.
I can't believe he turned down Jess's offer.
The bus, right?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Bus, magic
I'll
bus.
take that magic bus.
We offered him this bus. For anybody that didn't know, my dad was a Vietnam vet, and he was living in a bus that he made into a little home. Yep, Purple Heart recipient. And we had to get rid of it. And first we tried to sell it and realized it's a real interesting person that would want this type of a vehicle. And I was getting a little impatient. So I offered for Jeff. I said, listen, we just got to pay the guy that has been holding it $500.
Yep,
if you want to do that for RBT, let's give it to him. He can find a place to set it up, whatever. And he scoffed at it. You know what I mean?
Really?
And another veteran ended up benefiting from it, which is great.
Hopefully he appreciates it.
I think he does. Yeah.
And I want to set the record straight. I think Jess said that Kamala was the first female candidate for vice president.
If she gets elected, she'll be the
first vice president who's elected as a female. But Mondale had
yes.
I can't think of the girl's name.
I was also thinking about that.
It was Mondale's running mate. So if you were asked,
it's on the tip of my tongue. His running mate. Yes.
Wait a minute. Let me go to the expert. Hey Google, who was Walter Mondale's running mate for president?
But she didn't get in.
Geraldine Ferraro.
Yeah.
Not sure.
That's it. Geraldine Ferraro.
She was a walk.
No, she would, if elected, she would be the first female vice president. If she were elected, she'd be the first African-American vice president. And if she were elected, the first Asian-American vice president.
Now, if he would have just picked Michelle Obama, he could have had the first trans-African female bigenial, whatever the fuck she is.
I will say Patrick's always good with the text. That broke that news story. He sent me a text immediately.
Yeah.
Here's the scary thing.
Yeah.
If Biden were to win, and I know Joe Biden when I lived in Delaware, I know that Senate. If Biden were to win, I figure he's got 90 days most. So the female vice president would become the first president.
Yeah.
But if Biden loses, I'm going to give you my prediction. If Biden loses, you know who's going to be running in 2024, and she's going to be the first Republican white woman in the White House?
Jess Machado?
Ivanka Trump.
Oh.
No.
Man,
I'm going to be honest with you. As a lifelong Republican, I'm not sure she'd have my vote.
No, I think they're going to. Listen, I think that if anybody runs from the Trump thing, it's going to be Don Jr.
No, I think they are. I agree with him. I think they're cultivating her.
You think so?
Yeah, because Donald Jr. is not even around. He doesn't do anything.
He does all over social media.
He does the social media piece with the girlfriend Guilfoyle or whatever her name is. Kim. Yep. He does the social media piece, and then Eric, more so his wife, does another social media piece. Because she's always doing these little 4 women chats that are always out there. But Ivanka and Jared are right there side by side learning everything.
Yeah,
I would say that's true, but
I think there's a lot more prominent
think
Republican
Obama's
like
gonna
women
be
in
candidate.
already like in politics that would have a better chance.
with a clean
Now,
background.
You want to hear the funny prediction?
Yeah.
If Ivanka wins and gets 8 years, guess who runs 8 years? 12 years from
Oh,
now.
I'll be dead by then. I don't care. Who?
Barron Trump.
No, yeah. Why not?
We are not
Okay,
going to
wait,
have
wait.
a Trump empire in the White House. We have to focus on the next 4 years, which I don't think is a lock yet.
Right,
So
right.
let's
Yeah,
focus
I
on
mean,
these 4.
Well, I don't think that they're gonna vote or
We
fraud
had
their
we
way
had
into
Bush
the
dynasty,
presidency.
and we had the Adams dynasty, and we're going to have the Trump dynasty. Watch.
Well, we'll
Trump's
see.
got more
We
support
could.
than he
Good
had in
ideas, Patrick.
All right,
2016.
Patrick. Nice hearing from you, brother. You enjoy the
Y'all
day.
have a nice week.
See
Bye,
ya.
See you,
Patrick.
Patrick.
Yeah, so who knows, like, with these people come out of nowhere. I know that people that should run the country, and I've always said this, like a couple $100,000 a year isn't going to get some guy that's a genius that runs this multi-billion-dollar company is the right guy to be able to do this, but he's not interested in it because there's no money in it.
Oh, you're just saying
Yeah,
there's someone.
there's a bunch of them. These think tank people that can solve riddles and solve issues. I mean, I'm a pretty quick thinker. I'm sure there's someone that's got 100 times what I got going on out there that could easily,
I say all the time that I didn't get elected. It's a fucking blessing because honestly, like as much as I would say I want it, I want to get in there. I want to help make change, right? Really, how much change can I make if I'm 1 of 5 or 1 of 4? You know what I mean? Yeah. And if you're the one vote that on a committee, like a school committee or a city council, that is conservative, you've got 4 or 5 other people on there that are not. Your vote almost means nothing. And then you lose your voice. You lose your ability to do this. You lose your ability to speak out because you have to conform to the political style of, so it's a blessing, honestly.
I think as an elected official, you'll have that platform where you can voice the truth and the right opinion, and not be silenced because you'll be one of them.
Well, that's why I thought it was interesting when we asked Turtle Boy if he would consider, because, he seems like an ideal candidate. Yeah. He has people that listen to him. He speaks the truth.
Yes, he does.
I'm a little intrigued that he said maybe school committee. I find that to be very interesting.
Yeah. I mean, he's very,
that'd be a show for sure.
And if there were anyone that could handle the feedbacks of the tweets and the potamuses and all the little sweet nicknames he gives people,
it's Erica Scott Pacheco.
He could come out of it. He could definitely come out of it.
Erica Scott is the biggest fraud I've ever
She can handle it. She can handle it. I do want to bring something up, and don't shut this shit down before we talk about this.
Okay, then you got it.
So Erica Scott recently, and I'm going to pull up the screenshot. She got into a little fender bender the other day, right?
Let's get into it.
She got into a fender bender, and I need to find it.
She got hit in the bumper?
She got hit, and she gave a description online. Did you see this, Sarah?
No, I didn't. No, I don't know if she's got me blocked. I can't really see her stuff.
Well, if she doesn't see this, I know some of her friends from the Who Knew group will definitely. Let me pull up the screenshot, and I'll have Jeff post it on the page. She posted a description of who hit her. And she said
the guy that had the last name Pacheco,
it was a picture of a car with a license plate. And she said, this class act rear-ended me. He said he would pull over to exchange info, then ran the red light as I was pulling over and took off. Gray Corolla, blah, blah, blah. Anybody know them? Looked to be a Portuguese man driving, probably white woman in the passenger seat.
Oh, why? Assuming all that.
I mean, how do you know that he's Portuguese? What gives you the indication that this man is Portuguese? And I just find someone like her who's constantly spewing.
That's racial profiling.
Do you think he went
right?
home?
It's racial profiling. Do
you think she went? That guy went home and said, "Hey, Maria, I just hit some Sasquatch, and I was afraid she was going to scalp me." If no, that definitely didn't happen. But the two can play at the game.
I just kind of thought that was a very interesting statement from someone that is all about no racism and no racial profiling.
Listen,
and
the more
fighting the good fucking fight.
The more they grandstand on that issue, the more racist they are. The more that it's all them projecting how they are.
Yeah.
Did you see the hypocrisy tweet from her when Jeff put up both her posts from when I had my anti-lockdown
With Richie
protest.
Cabaceres when they was
about what she said about my protest, and then about what she said about Black Lives Matter protesting, and she was basically calling for me to be shut down and arrested. You know what I mean? And as just like, know what? Not even 2 months later, she's all over saying how she stands with them in unity and God bless them.
Oh, of course. Because it benefits her.
What a hypocrite you are! Like, you have no principles. All you have is your political narrative.
Stuck in a loop.
Mm-hmm.
What she does have.
Say it again.
You guys are stuck in a loop right now on Facebook.
Oh, thank you.
You're racist profiling. You racist profiling.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Hopefully, it don't kink itself.
One of the things I found interesting is her Twitter handle is the Erica Scott.
Why you said that?
So I would prefer if I'm referenced as the Jessica Machado from now on. What kind of cocky confidence do you have?
But where's the Pachico? And you know what's funny?
Interesting.
And
that's questioning your name too.
Yeah. Question my name. My legal name is Sean Mirazem. Look me up and come find me, bitch. But let me say one thing. In that comment, she put in "who knew," right? She was like, he's questioning my name, my hyphenated name. My parents have hyphenated names, and my kid's gonna have a hyphenated name. Who cares about your hyphenated name? You didn't fucking have one until you ran for mayor and failed. Well, tried to run for mayor, but still, who cares?
Yeah,
who cares?
You know what I'm curious about?
And it's by marriage,
right?
You're not Portuguese. You're not.
I'm curious, and this is
Sean wants to kick her in the pussy, so let's just get that.
If you can find it, I'm sincerely curious. How did she pay for all of those schools? And that has nothing to do with like her as a person. If somebody went to UN Chapel Hill, someone went to Harvard, and she went Boston University or somewhere else. Harvard, and how did you pay? I'm just curious. And then there was like some bankruptcy stuff. Did those loans all get wrapped into that? Did your education end up becoming free?
You can't go file bankruptcy on student loans.
I'm just curious.
Everything else did. But
I'm just wondering. That's a lot of money. I mean, yes, there could be some grants and stuff like that. Did she get some grants based on her Native American heritage? I'm curious. She's talking $500,000 worth of education, and she's filed bankruptcy.
Easy.
So
and
talk me through it.
She won't make $500,000 in her life.
But she wants to run the city, though. Right?
Yeah, and it's funny that when she was debating, when Florida reported a debate, she said that she was the only one that worked full time. When Joe Camara worked full time, Jay-Z worked full time.
Sure,
she works full time teaching people how to skirt rent, paying rent. That's
I have a nice thread in my inbox with her about property owning and renting and stuff like that. And and once I just kept shutting down everything she had to say. She just kind of like insulted me. And
my thing is like people are saying like we don't like her based on her appearance. Or first of all, I'm a big girl, so I can say that to another big girl. Like if I want to talk about your fupa, I can do that because I have one. It's not about that. It's about her basically lifestyle and career of giving people ways to live off of the system without actually becoming independent and being successful and getting off of those programs. They're not about it's a transition from one other fucking program to the next, to the next, to the next. And you're talking to someone who was born in a project to a single mother on welfare, and that lasted 4 years, and it was used as a transition to a new life, working 2 jobs, getting an education, and always inherently knowing this is not a lifestyle. This is just a pit stop, based maybe on a poor decision, but it's not.
People who looted and are locked up at the police station at 18th and
State.
It's your phone, maybe?
No.
The fuck. So I don't like her because of what she stands for.
It's like
and at the end of the and at the end it's you.
That's me.
Yeah,
dude, if your porn shows up next.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
I can assure you they're all over 18. That boy looks young, but he's over 18.
So and at the end of the day too, because I saw that on there that we were kind of going after her. At the end of the day, I've been a Republican since I was 18, and our fundamentals will clash based strictly on that. I did notice that her Erica for Mayor website domain is down, and I am going to buy it if I can.
Malcolm X had said that the be careful because the Black Devil Democrats will come and
Well, he knew that the white liberal was his biggest enemy. He did know that at least.
Yeah.
And I don't agree with everything that Malcolm X stood
No.
for, but he was kind of a radical and a black supremacist. But what he said about the white liberal was on point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there you go. And
So
then-
that's her.
Right.
yeah.
You know,
Well, she
has a state counterpart, someone else, and I don't want to mention her name. I'll do it off the air, but very, very similar.
Yeah.
It's all about these programs that I just don't know if they help anyone get ahead. I think it just keeps them stagnant, but I don't know. It's like it's a lateral move every time. It's never a move up.
They character assassinate you for disagreeing with them, like on policy, and then they accuse you of of picking on them, instead of arguing policy. When all you're doing is just sinking to their level and retaliating against their character assassination.
Yeah, I mean, First Amendment rights. I'm gonna, use those all the time. I can say whatever the fuck I want about whoever the fuck I want.
Of course.
All right, now
But
tonight,
they're the ones hiding in their little group that won't let us in to defend ourselves. Like, I'd be more than willing to debate her on any platform.
Why? The only thing
You
you're
know what
going to
I mean?
do if you go in there, Sarah, is give them facts, and they don't want facts.
Well, yeah, but you know what though? It'll
like
be me onto
kryptonite
all of
to
them,
them.
and they'll be the one kicking me out. That's what's
Kryptonite.
gonna happen.
Like these people that were saying, and then there's
like Turtle Boy said, everyone's laughing that he picked Camila.
yeah. There's a ton of Twitter reactions to that Trump store in Somerset, and
Yes.
I am surprised at how violent a lot of these tweets
you
are.
didn't give those examples, yeah.
They want to burn the store down.
He's gonna bring a taser. Somebody's gonna bring a taser to our next rally.
I hope that your firstborn children are killed.
Yeah.
I'm going to come spit on you, spit on these people and punch them down. Like,
Yeah.
I'm just going to tell you, I have never gone to a BLM page and started trolling people.
Yes.
I just I don't know why people are doing that. Why are you wasting your energy and time? You're literally on a page for people that do not have the same ideas as you.
Right.
You're not going to change any minds.
Right.
So you're there to start shit.
Yes.
Like, what's the point?
Yes.
All right, so
Violent.
I had an interaction today on Let's Talk About Officer Garrett Rolfe. She puts, you all lives matter people are sure quiet, and they have this guy Whitaker. They got shot by the police or whatever. And I said,
I heard about that.
oh wait, we should go rob stores and burn things. Is that how we should handle it?
Right.
And while you hide your white supremacist face, why are you turning a peaceful protest into a riot? Umbrella man. And then she's calling me racist. And then, of course, the racist turd, the insults come. She says, I have 5 chins. I argue with her that it's more like 8. And look at her. She looks like a barrel full of assholes.
Oh my God, that's who that was.
Oh my goodness.
Oof.
You know who
Yeah,
she
that
looks
is
like? She
scary.
looks like Linda Tripp.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like on crack though.
Yeah.
Oh, why are you using that nice picture? Surely there must be a mugshot available. Oh, I'm sure.
Of you or?
Yeah, no, her. I'm sure she calls me Chinny. Chinny doesn't care. He has 4 more years. Chinny, Chin, Chin. I actually don't, and I have a goatee going.
I
haven't
like
shaved in like
nicknames.
2
That's
weeks.
like a form of
But yeah,
endearment. She
Chinny.
kind of I bet she
It's-
fucking
it's
likes
Chinny.
you.
It's a pet name. Yeah.
I've had
Yes.
some Asian. I've had a massage here and there. You can call
Is
me
she
Chins.
Asian? Oh, I
That's
thought you were
what
saying,
Asian
oh,
to me.
shit.
No.
Oh.
No, but in this day and age, you can just say it, and then it's true.
So
I
it's
mean,
like
especially if you're using it
What's
to get
the
size in
name?
their
Asia.
position.
What's the name? Is it Melissa Costa? That's
No.
a
Oh,
fan
God,
of the show.
she's just as
Wait,
bad.
so listen.
I'm
I
giving
know
her a
there's.
pass though, because she's triggered.
All right, listen. I
don't
know
want
there
her to
was
kill
some
herself.
stuff going on with Melissa, right? And I was not paying attention to that. I didn't know, but
I love Melissa.
some of the stuff
So
came
passionate.
through last night. So I started to I'm sitting on my phone and I'm really kind of looking at, seeing whatever. This is the only thing that jumped out at me. This is her emoji. This is what she looks like. So you're going to have to post this.
Kind
Okay.
of.
That's what she put
They
for
all
her
look-
account.
they all
This
look
is
like that.
her emoji. This is an African American emoji.
And you are white.
And you are straight white.
Yeah, she is. Like the whitest of the white.
I was down in Westerly and there was a Black Lives Matter protest. I think
Like
I sent you
Polish
guys the
white.
video, and they were all like chubby fat chicks,
That's unbelievable.
holding the Black Lives Matter sign. And if you really sit them down on the couch and get the psychiatrist in and hypnotize them, they're gonna be like, "Well, if Black Lives Matter to me because those are the only guys that will fuck me."
Oh my
I don't know if you want to get to that, but who knows? But we're satire parody. If you want to come dox us, boycott us, come face to face
Oh,
time with
I've
me.
said this
I
1,000
welcome
times. I've said this 1,000 times. For a thick girl that has a big ass, the brothers were always very nice to me.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, they
does
like
that mean that they can't like me anymore in
Right.
this BLM culture? Because
Apparently.
they lift my
Just-
spirits
just-
all the time.
Nope, just braid your hair. and you're done. You're in the culture.
I'm just saying. I was thinking about that white lady
Steal some
that
Nike,
was
steal
the head
some
of
Gucci.
that chapter of the NAACP. Remember that she
From
like changed
Seattle.
herself. And she was
Rachel,
like,
something or other. Yeah.
like, is this what this girl's doing?
Here's something.
Maybe.
I
Maybe.
was just in a meeting before, and this guy told me today. He's like, "Do you realize that the black police chief in Seattle took a pay cut less than the white male chief? The black female had to take a pay cut less than the white male chief that preceded her. That's what they wanted to do. She resigned. She's out.
Part of the defunding,
Is that not racist?
for sure.
Okay, so not only is she a female, but she's black.
Yeah, but they
and you're
want
gonna
to
pay
defund
her
the police departments
less.
under him.
What's
They
that
are
shirt
under
say?
her,
What
that's
Sean's in? You gotta defend or defund?
Defend.
Okay.
Defend, of course.
And
Defend the good police. You can fuck
Right.
with the bad cops.
Yeah.
That's fine. We don't
That's
care about them because they're assholes. But defend the good cops because there's a lot more of those
That's right.
than there are the bad
and
ones.
I'm going on record to defend the police that dragged that scumbag out of that house on 4th Street.
I read about that.
It's got too
And
many
she tried
holes
to
in
turn
it.
him into a victim. That was
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Too many holes in it. Florida
You can
Police
see right through
Department,
that bullshit.
since the last incident, I mean, they're tight. They got a new chief. The old chief wasn't bad. None of their chiefs have been bad. But, then you get suck the dick, the police dick, the
Right.
blue dick.
Right,
yeah.
right.
Yeah, okay.
Let me say this.
How about I'm not sucking a criminal's dick? That's all.
So the same people that say, oh, well, just because there's good cops doesn't matter because that one bad cop is a direct representation of the entire police force. Okay, so are your fucking rioters at your protest.
That's exactly
Mhm.
right.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's all I have to
That's
say.
exactly right.
City council
point.
meeting tonight. Anything flashy going on in Fall River? Is Pam going to be wearing
I
some
don't think
stolen
so.
Dolce and
Hey,
Gabbana?
Flanagan's been
Oh,
stepping into
Flanagan.
fashion.
Yes.
He's been making it happen.
Do you still subscribe to that page?
I had facilitated a page called The Fashion of Will Flanagan.
Oh, really?
It's
Oh,
somewhat,
Jesus, I didn't
it's been
know.
boring. But man, did this motherfucker deliver yesterday.
Hell
said
yeah.
he said to some people he doesn't like it, didn't like it, but then I heard
I talked to him. I
he
saw him.
loves it.
I saw him at the
Yeah.
sports book and we were talking about it and he was very humble about it. He
Of
was
course.
fine. He literally, you have to post
He
it on the
might be
page.
running for mayor next year. You think any early
Oh,
time
I'd vote him in.
contender?
I'll vote
Just
you in,
for-
Will.
No.
Run
no,
for
no,
mayor,
no.
Will.
No, please.
Let's
Any,
get this
any
done.
possible contenders yet?
Fall River.
Yeah.
I
Earl
know-
Gaudette?
I know of one. I'm not at liberty to say, but I think
Oh.
people are starting to start putting things together. Yes.
Okay.
I mean, holding my breath for Jay's will come back for life. Honestly,
Jay's will be back.
let's go.
Jay's doing he's got
Hey, he's got the beard. He's like Eminem. He's
Yeah,
got
that's
the
what I'm
beard
trying
now.
to do.
He came
So,
back.
all right, I'll be like Rip Van
Because he
Winkle.
can, but he's going to do the Buddy Cianci. You'll
Shout
see.
out
It
to Johnny's Crossroad Wine and Spirits, Prestige Automat, better way to buy a car, excellent pizza, and we'll give Jay's place a new plug. What is it called? The
Oh, it's
Townhouse.
Townhouse.
I want to go there.
Duro
Townhouse.
Steakhouse.
Duro
And
Steakhouse. All in one. And ironically enough, it's in the same building I think that he was evicted out of, isn't it?
it's next door to
Next
it.
door.
Right on Purchase Street.
Right above Baby Daddy's place.
Yes, it's
Jay
right
Zill,
near
the
Baby
man,
Daddy's
is
place.
doing good
Big
things.
things.
And I'm gonna get over there and have myself a nice filet mignon
Sure.
and a bourbon.
Hey,
And,
we didn't talk about the rats in Somerset.
We didn't. We
What
can.
rats?
The
I know you're
rats
closing it up,
on Selectman Barraby, former Selectman Barraby's property. I guess he's got some animals there.
Yeah, he's got more than a couple animals. I mean, he's got essentially a mini farm right in the middle of Somerset.
Where? What street?
Like near Lafayette, like over in that area off of County. And he's got a donkey, he's got goats, he's got chickens, he's got a
What?
lot. It's pretty phenomenal.
Lafayette. Does that go up into like that Wood Street area?
Yeah, right over
Oh,
in that area.
Lafayette. Chase Street,
yes,
Lafayette.
yes. And I guess neighbors have been complaining because there's rats. There's a rat issue because you've got that many animals. It's like behind Buffington Park.
Yeah.
So there was an incident where I guess the Board of Health went there with one of the new selectmen, Lauren Lawless, who actually took Dave's seat. And they went to go
Very
address
contentious
this
battle.
Yep, and a surprise win
Yeah.
because Dave basically said that election was in the bag many times to many people.
Yeah.
So Lauren Lawless had a very successful win. But anyway, so they went there with the Board of Health guy and Lauren to kind of say,
right?
"Yep, Tim Turner. Hey,
Big
listen,
guy, my size.
definitely not a big guy.
No, 6'2",
No,
maybe.
I guess." Not as intimidating as you, that's for sure. And anyway, they went there to talk to him, and I guess Dave is extremely unprofessional. I've had words with him on election day. He's such a fucking prick.
Yeah, I
so
heard
could
that. He was like,
he wouldn't let
away
me
from
fucking
me.
stand next to him.
And you maintained your bearing.
And I said, I want to sit here. Now, a cop came over and, the cop was a nice guy. He came over and he's like, listen, I know what shit you're going through. He said, it's not fucking worth it. Let this guy do what he wants to do. It's not worth it. So I've already had my interactions with him.
Went and grabbed 100 ballots of Dave's and threw them in the trash.
No, he's a really good cop. See,
Good.
There's a good cop. But anyway, there was a confrontation there. And again, Dave is extremely unprofessional. I've seen him, and he assaulted Lauren Lawless. He pushed him.
Was it akin to the Matt Lewis video where was it like that violent with the murder threats?
I believe. Listen, Lauren's not a young guy. I mean, I'm not saying he's like an elderly guy, but he's an older guy. He got a little hurt, from what I heard. He pushed him back and threw out his back or whatever. Pushed him into Tim Turner. It's going to be interesting to see what Tim can say about the whole situation.
Oh shit!
But I guess Dave put a no trespass order on Lauren so that he couldn't go back there. And then Lauren pressed charges against him for assault.
If anybody else that had an issue with a property, they have the right to go on your property and
well, he was acting as he's part of the Board of Health as an elected member of the selectmen. I don't know the semantics. Of course. But I mean, listen, and he put his hands on him. And I'm going to tell you my experience with Dave, that I can totally see that, especially if you weren't someone like me that was like, hey, I don't want to fight here on election day. And I backed away. If you're standing there and you're trying to I can totally see it. So I'm super interested in how that's going to play out. Somerset politics are a fucking mess right now.
So isn't Swansea, so isn't Florida.
Yeah, they all are.
Are they all suing each other? Because that's what's happening over there.
So one last thing, we had the I know a lot of you guys that are close to me in the groups, private groups. We were trying to find that thing, and everyone was like, Jeff, you fucking found it last month, you retard. Wait till the morning when you can find it. So the next morning, it came up my memories. It was August.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was August 9th.
That's kind of creepy.
2015,
manifestation.
And it came up. But so whatever. But he had just tried reaching out, and he's got another GoFundMe. Someone totaled his car. Another fucking perennial loser in life.
Is that video something you will share publicly? Like, does that go out public?
It's on Facebook.
If you have not seen this video,
I'll put it up on the
head
page
over
again.
to the Fall of a Raw page. Jeff will put it up. It literally makes me want to punch my head up against a concrete wall. Jeff is so fucking badass in it. And I think any man defending his home where his wife and his family is would be the exact same way.
I did see that.
And he's like, dude, I will fucking kill you.
Get out of here. Get the fuck out of here.
I was just like, I love the video. Love it. And it's it's great. So go to the page and take a look.
Okay, so we're getting the inbox is always unforgiving to some. So we got some information, attachment unavailable, and I said, "Oh, yo, what's up? We missed it." It was a sick video of some guy pulling his penis out Wednesday night through the drive-thru around 10 p.m. I shared it and sent it along with hopes that you guys could figure out who the scumbag was. I said, who was it? We need to know. I think a couple of us got involved because there's a few people that answer that. I'm not sure. I wish I did. Definitely, it was absolutely appalling. He was smiling, laughing like it was funny too. I'm asking for the name now. And I'm coming up with a name. I don't know who knows them, but the name is Orion King. And
which drive-thru?
The Wendy's drive-thru. I'm assuming, I would assume it's probably the south end of Florida. Unless he's brazen.
So he went through the drive-thru, and when he got to the window, he was jerking off?
I don't know. There was a video that this girl saw.
Oh, and she recorded it. Oh, somebody recorded it.
She's got some mutual friends, and she reached out to us. And he works for a landscape design company in Florida. He's from Florida, from Berkeley.
That's really the guy.
Yeah, I mean, allegedly, if you look at there's not many Ryan Kings. It looks that he's holding a little 6-year-old girl with a blue shirt on, and his face is red in a circle shot. That's the information we're getting. There's 5 mutual friends with the person that sent it. That's all I'll say. I'm not telling you who sent it. I don't even know the person that sent it. It's just indiscriminate.
I know the person. It's a like-minded individual. I don't think they would make it up.
Okay.
But didn't something very similar happen at the local Stop and Shop like a couple months ago? Wasn't that around here? The guy was in his car jacking off, and then somebody filmed him and was like, the fuck are you doing?
No, I was scratching my leg.
Was that on Turtle Boy, though? I thought maybe that was.
I think it might have been.
I don't know, but I think that was in Massachusetts, wasn't it?
Yeah, sure it was.
But if it wasn't around here, it's probably not the same person. That's what I was thinking. Maybe it's
listen, I don't know if I've ever told the story, and I don't want to get too long, but when I was a kid, I used to live off of
5 mutual friends with the person that sent it. That's all. Okay, so we're back up.
I was I lived on Maple Street in the Highlands, and I used to go to Holy Name School, and we used to walk to school, to and from school, because that's what you fucking did. There were no buses, especially private schools. So Catholic school kids walking home, and we'd walk all the way up Shorma Ave.
The priest would walk the boys home.
The boys home.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget, we were walking home, and a car was going the wrong way on the one way. And this is like a very nice neighborhood, Stetson Street.
Yeah.
Yep. And car pulled in. And I just remember looking over into the window. I was in 7th or 8th grade. And I'd never seen a dick before because one, there was no internet, no phones. You know what I mean? I'm 13. Sorry. And
you didn't go to the Catholic church? I saw a dick when I was an altar boy. Like
9 years old.
Yeah. They called it
wait a second. Wait a second. How old were you the first time you saw a dick?
15.
Okay. So I was still younger.
I was
not
like 1, I guess.
I'm just saying. So
it's been 15 years since I seen my last one.
I just didn't really even know what I was looking at, but he was jerking off in the car to, 5, 6 girls in Catholic school uniforms. And, we walked past, I looked in, still didn't really figure it. I did, but I didn't. And then we kept walking and he moved to the next open spot and pulled in again. And that point, I kind of felt like he was following us and he was fucking jerking off. And I just walked my sisters to the neighbor, our closest neighbor, and went on their porch, and then he drove away. But 1987, 1988.
Yeah. Did it kind of look like that?
But at the same time,
like
right?
Play-Doh.
I'm just saying, like, if you're a guy and you're driving through a drive-through, isn't it more demeaning and embarrassing that your dick is out in front of strangers?
I mean, Wendy, some people like
gingers. You have
gingers.
the privacy of your own home. I mean,
there's people that really like that.
There's
shit,
been
there's
gingers on Epstein's Island.
Like these cucks, these cuckolds. They're into like that humiliation shit.
Yeah.
Voyeurism,
wait, what does that word mean?
Cuckold is when like you're guy and you like watching another guy fuck your girlfriend.
Oh.
And
so when I watch
or like
Benson,
cuck queen when it's the other way around, the girl likes the guy fucking.
So when
another
Benson's
girl.
raping Lulu and I watch with popcorn, I'm
you're being cucked. Yeah.
You should not have your animals.
I don't.
Yeah.
Hey, that would be the day.
But
I
no,
freaking wanted my man fucking another girl.
These people really like that
kill
shit.
someone.
So you're talking about
10 grand.
So you're saying it's more of a turn on for the guy that's doing it. He's not looking to turn the girl on. It's more of a turn on.
Well,
for
he
him.
knows he's not going to turn the girl on. I mean,
Isn't
maybe
he gonna repulse her?
if it's a number game, you expose yourself to enough girls, maybe one would be like, I don't have anything better to do. But I mean, mostly you're talking about the demeaning, like fucking shame aspects. That's what gets them going. Like the risk. It's like shoplifters, kleptos that get the rush from stealing. It's like
they do.
These guys get the rush from exposing themselves and embarrassing themselves.
Yeah.
And that's what they do.
Interesting.
It just seems like there's going to be something like kind of.
All right, so
yeah.
Saturday, put another pop up on Hassey Street in New Bedford. Those scallops are delicious. $50 for 4 gallons or 4+ pounds.
Yeah, 4 gallons would be a lot more than 4 pounds.
Half gallon. Good stuff. Salmon over there. Get there early. I was trying to get my wife to go over there last time, and she couldn't get there, so I haven't had scallops. And I love scallops, but I won't eat them anywhere else because they taste like shit after they're processed.
Yep.
But anyone got any last minute things? Shout out to Turtle Boy for coming on today.
Yes,
Shout out Turtle Boy.
yeah.
Always a good boost for the audience. I hope he works that out with Callahan with that video because I used to like watching it on Facebook. But I guess we can get Apple. You can get
Right on,
free,
yeah, right on
Yeah.
your phone. Yeah, you just go watch it. And shout out Family Food Grocery Outlet, William S. Cannon
Yeah,
Boulevard.
that guy's
And,
badass. I like him.
Yeah.
He's
He's
good.
like, fuck you. You don't want to save money? Go fuck yourself.
No, he's awesome. Mike Pierre, the
Like
whole
St.
St.
Pierre,
Pierre
yeah.
family,
Yeah.
they're awesome. They're really good people. Destiny, she's awesome too. So go check them out. Great prices, great quality food. Fucking expiration date. They're arbitrary. It's fresh. I eat there, and I'm the pickiest motherfucker you'll meet. They're awesome. Trust me.
545 drinks still.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
5, 5, 3, 5, 2, 5.
And then you got
Well,
Any
not really.
rallies
Yeah,
coming
well,
up?
Simply
well,
Simons.
No, yeah, Simply Simons. Yeah, I like Simply Simons. I go there all the time. And I had a very bad experience today at the Solar Weed Shop on Brayton Avenue.
Oh, really?
I've been in there. I've dropped a couple $100 on the stuff there, and it's good. It's convenient.
What's the name of it?
That Solar
Therapeutics.
Solar
The Somerset
Therapeutics,
weed.
yeah.
Oh, the one.
Yeah.
Oh, honey, I could have stopped you from going there. Don't go there.
I mean, listen, it's like I wanted to get some like a good sativa. That's what I was in the mood for.
Yeah.
And I've been there before, and they didn't give me
like,
any shit about the mask. You know what I mean? I just said I had a medical condition. He just said, okay, just make sure you social distance, stay 6 feet from the counter, blah, blah. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
The guy in there was very helpful, gave me what I needed. Today, I was treated like crap. The guy didn't want to let me in. So I kind of made us think about it. I was like, well, he's like, well, I have asthma and I have to wear a mask. I'm like, yeah, but you work here. I don't. You know what I mean? I have to wear a mask at work too, but you know, like I'm like, I've been in here before. Nobody ever busted my balls about it, you know? So I was like, well, I guess you're going to lose the business over it. And then another worker came out with a mask. So then I go in there and they ask for my ID again, like it's Fort Knox. Like they make me give my ID again to scan. And then she gives me, I'm asking if she's got any good sativa. She like hands a list to me, like all shitty. You know what I mean? So I looked at the list and I said, I don't want a hybrid. I want a sativa. And she's like, well, we don't have any. And I said, so I ripped my mask off. I threw it behind the counter and I was like, well,
and you left?
Yeah. And I left and like a big huff and a puff. I'm like, this is a terrible experience. I said, all that aggravation for nothing. You didn't
even get nothing?
No, I didn't even get nothing.
You need a bus?
You think they recognize you?
I have some in the car.
You think they recognize you and wanted to give you a hard time?
I don't think so. It wasn't the same guy and it wasn't the same person who waited on me. So I don't think so.
They asked me for an ID the first time I went there.
I had to show it at the counter when I walked in, and then they asked me again while I was inside.
They're like, let's make sure this is who this is.
I was like, you don't know who I am.
Sarah.
Yeah,
like,
Well, in their defense, I believe that's part of what they have to do is when you come in. And
yeah, but last time I didn't have to show it twice.
listen, I've been there multiple times, and that was in the beginning because I was writing stories about these places.
Right.
Northeast Alternatives is far superior in so many ways. Number one,
Devin's brother, my nephew Quinn works there.
Listen, I'll go in there and drop like $100.
Listen,
no problem. Like,
not only is the product far superior and their choices, and they're never out of anything. And I'm telling you, they have so much variety.
You don't have sativa. Like that's like the name. That's like a main freaking.
The staff there is so happy to be there. They are paid and compensated well. They are making money hand over fist with their tips. I mean, I've had people I know work there. They're telling me they're making sometimes $30 an hour.
Wow, good for them.
Doing nothing but talking about weed.
Right.
That's it. You're not you're not physical labor. You're doing shit. The environment is amazing from start to finish. And I will say, back when COVID started and these places got shut down, which is bullshit because you could still go get alcohol, but you couldn't go get weed. One of the things that they did, which is one of the savviest business moves ever, is they sent all of their customers on their list, all of the contact information on how you could become a medicinal card carrier. And they sent you 5 or 6 places in Massachusetts that you could go online. You could pay the fee, which was $175. And I did a face-to-face camera with a doctor who interviewed me, talked about me. I mean, I have lupus, but I think it's obviously very
sit with
liberal.
Jeff Larry once a week. Here's all the scripts.
Take it all. So not only did they not only hold my hand, but basically instruct me on how to become a medical marijuana patient. They said, if you get your certificate, because they only allowed them to reopen for medical only, you come in and show us that certificate that you paid $175 and we will match $175 in products.
Oh, wow.
So I went in and I bought $175 worth of product and they gave me $175 for free. I literally walked out with bags and bags
You're like
of
the
weed,
biggest drug dealer in Fall River.
gummies, pre-rolls. Not only that, but they operate like a regular business. You go in on a I think it's Sunday. Your eighths are only $35 or $40. Some days it's buy one get one free.
Devin
gummies.
Call that a $20
I
bag.
cannot say enough about them. It is unfortunate they're in that location and the neighbors have given them shit. They do everything they can. I can't say enough about them, especially comparatively
With that
to
in mind,
And where are they located?
So they are all the way on the Tiverton line. Yep. So
I'm gonna have to go check it out because I was just had such a bad taste in my mouth. I was treated terribly today.
But listen, we had this.
I'll never go back there.
This guy last Friday, Rob LaCouture, he runs a small wellness center and local CBD brand here in Fall River, and he only local New England farmers, and he wants to come on and talk about the difference between CBD and THC. It's a hot topic, and I think we could do a segment like that. So we'll get into that.
For sure.
Also, one thing I got from you guys probably already read it, or you will read it because it's in the thread. Joe Biden chooses Kamala Harris. This is a conspiracy theory, maybe, as his VP. They have Joe step down due to his health concerns. We heard this locally on a local level.
Well, I mean, anybody who have a brain knows that's going to happen.
And so this happens. Kamala cannot, by constitutional law, become president. She's an anchor baby. Mother is from India.
I did know that.
Father from Jamaica, and neither are American citizens at the time of her birth. That means the presidency would fall on the Speaker of the House.
Oh, isn't that
Nancy
something?
fucking Pelosi, your first president. So now you have the first female alcoholic,
Yeah.
Xanax. That's the other thing they said. We called it the
Send that to the
Xanax
chat.
studio.
Or they could just make Kamala Harris a birth certificate like they did for Obama.
I don't know if I
Right.
buy this.
No, I don't buy a lot of stuff, but
Listen, I don't put nothing
whatever.
back.
I say we start a death
past
pool.
them.
We need a death pool. Who's gonna die first?
Me.
Joe Biden, Joe Biden, Nancy Pelosi, Warren. Howard Stern used to do a celebrity death poll.
Really?
Pool, yeah, and everybody used to pick who they thought would be next
Jump
on the
the
list
Shark,
to
was
die.
it?
What?
Was it Jump the Shark?
I don't know what that means.
What was it? No, Jump the Shark was
The
TV
segment
shows
name.
that died. Yeah.
Oh.
Right. So
But
it's
yeah,
actual people.
I mean, Pelosi looks extremely unhealthy and unstable,
Yeah.
and so does Joe. Dude,
Yeah.
more. I listen. I know there's
He
a
is
lot of
definitely
spin,
like
and there's a lot
dementia
of
or something like
yes.
that.
I
It's
know there's
something.
spin and videos or whatever, and give me the Biden sniffing hair videos all day long. But the unedited videos of this guy trying to formulate
Yes.
thoughts into words.
Yes.
If that doesn't scare
Yeah.
anybody,
It's
I don't know what does.
It's embarrassing.
Oh, for
And
sure.
then they try to say that Trump's like mentally unfit. I mean, it's just the projection from the left. It's really
Yeah.
like, it's like some kind of like ideological subversion type of tactic that they use it on us. It's
Next week,
so bad.
Eric B. Media Studios is on vacation, so therefore we are on vacation. So,
all right.
Jess, you can let me know now that you're not going to do the show next week.
I'm gonna do it.
All
I'm
right,
doing
no,
it.
she's gonna do it. We're gonna break into this place.
I'm gonna do a Facebook Live right from the page.
We could
Go
use,
find
we could
RBT.
use StreamYard, and it would be quite hysterical, especially if we do it around 7.
Mm.
Celtics are on right now, so you can go catch some of that.
Oh,
but
praise.
yeah,
Bruins. Don't Bruins have a playoff game tonight?
they lost 3 games in a row. I think they're headed into
No
a
way. I
series
think
Hey, listen,
they
listen.
have
with
a,
Carolina.
tonight, 8 p.m.
Listen,
Okay.
listen. Forget
Thank
about
God
the Bruins.
sports is back.
Forget about the Bruins. Turtle Boy tonight, 9 p.m.
9
Yes.
Turtle
p.m.
Boy YouTube
Absolutely.
page.
Yeah. have to
Yeah,
tune in.
and yeah, it was good to have him on. Hopefully, we'll have him on like once a month or so.
I like the new format. Shout out to Eric for
Yeah,
the
yeah.
ability to
Yeah,
see
it's
the
nice to see
thread.
what we can
Yeah.
see. Yeah, we can
Yeah.
see what everybody's
I'm
saying.
gonna-
Yeah.
Yep, I'm going to say that Turtle Boy told me about the odd stream.
Oh.
So Eric, now we can. Eric,
Thanks, Eric, for setting it up. We appreciate
Eric
it.
makes it all happen. Does a lot of work and does a lot for the local companies around. He even
Hell yeah.
did the 4th of July parade. Was it 4th of July?
He's good with the
Ooh.
drones too.
Yeah,
His drone is sick. Eric has a nasty drone. It's
Yep.
awesome.
it's awesome. He follows me home and he's like, "Hey, there's a black van following you. You might want to speed up a little bit." And I'm like, "That's it." All right, so we'll see you guys in 2 weeks or maybe Thursday. Who knows? Whenever we show up next.
Alrighty.
Peace out. For